I'm going to do a recording basically. So one of the things that you are doing in this course is a research project, and it's basically it's for you to go out, learn something about Unity or something in general, and improve yourself, enrich yourself. I'm just going to go over this quickly in this video, basically do a recording just for the research project. Here are the requirements, and basically the first part is to basically find a project and present it. Basically, failure to conduct a presentation or research project will result in no grade for all parts of the research project. So if you fail to present and fail to show up and do things, you will then get no grade. You'll get a 0. You will fail this course. You should fill this course. I have to look at the math on that again. But the overview is for you to research using multiple sources, write some demonstration code, and present to your peers. So you're going to present. So you're going to projects assigned and research potential topics are given. By the next week, you're going to propose a topic and have it approved. And the reason you're proposing it because you might try and bite off something too big. Next 2 weeks, basically, you're going to gather research material and learn from them. I will ask for a research material check. This is generally due before spring break. Week 2 to 7, you'll demonstrate the demonstration project. This is when we return from spring break, I'm going to ask for your project, see where you're at. And then after we're done in the month of April, you'll be presenting to the class. So basically the lecture will be less about me teaching things, but basically you guys showing off what you've been doing for research projects. So this is another part of the class. This is, again, projects. So this is individual projects. Think of these are all individual projects. Do I have a list of ideas? Yeah, so ideas right now, like, well, what is pathfinding? What are shaders? Going to deal shaders, advanced input techniques. So this is like, let's do fighting game mechanics is what we're trying to talking here. Procedural generation techniques, and there are several different variants, whether it's just a floor, like Binding of Isaac or Splunky. Is it like Minecraft world generation? Is it, and there's multiple ways this procedural generation can go. Are we talking about planets in a solar system? There's so many different types of procedural generation out there, and so it's about you going out. So it'll be like, hey, what type of procedural generation are we talking about here? What are you trying to build with this procedural generation? So I want to point that out. There's research materials, and you'll be required to find 5 different materials for your research. You're required to find resources in 3 categories. So category 1, books. All right, there's probably something written about this in a book somewhere already at this point. Go out, find those books, and look up. Category number 2 is printed magazines, academic journals, other published papers. Gamma Sutra used to publish Game Developer magazine. You can access journals from library sources, and then so there's printed things, not just books but other things, magazine articles, developer, research journals. Go out and find them, and you might find a topic. And this book refers to something, and you find things can change. Don't worry about that. Go find these topics. And then finally is category number 3. Is everything else down 1 or 2? So one of the things is the GDC Vault might have information you're looking for. Again, this is GDC Vault was part of the game developer, I think to a certain extent, but like GDC, again, Game Developer has been running for a very long time. They have tons and tons of material. Are there resources that and ask to implement your topic? Is it just an online video? Things that basically we're looking at written created by different authors. You want different viewpoints, an approach from different people. This a bit bigger. There we go. Look at material from different games in different series, specifically multiple genres, if possible. Just picking materials about your favorite game series doesn't expose you to different approaches and issues with your topic. And you should have must have one resource with example code. While you're only provided to find more, you're likely to find more out there. Go ahead and find those more. The more information you find, the better work you'll be. And if you've got questions, come talk to me. Code example. So the code example portion of the research project presents two things. First is any example code you discovered during your research phase, and the other half of the code is any project you create. You're not making a game. You're just demonstrating a topic and trying to show us. So we don't need a full-on game. We just need something code that's working that demonstrates the topics you're talking about. And then finally, the fourth piece is the presentation. Again, do you have presentation material? Do you have PowerPoint slides or Google Slides? Are you able to talk about it well? Are you able to demonstrate the talk well? Does the project that you built help you and demonstrate what you're talking about? So that's basically what this research project is about. Do we have any questions about the research project? Again, you're looking at about like 5-10 minutes talking and another 5 minutes total of demonstration. So a total like 15-20 minutes tops. How will the groups be made? Well, groups will be for the groups will be made for the team project. You guys will do, for the most part, I try and let you as your students to sort yourself into groups. When that fails, I will make team project groups. But for these research projects, these are all individual research done individually. Any other questions? Correct. This right here is about the research project. This is individual work. Later, you will be formed into groups for the team project at the end of the term. And we'll use GitHub for that. And right now, it looks like we've got about maybe 3 or 4 groups, depending on how we split things up. Correct. Yeah, I made those categories so that you go out and find different types of materials, so that you're not all relying on one piece of material like a YouTube video. That might be the tedious part about the research project, because I'm actually telling you to go out and find multiple things. When you start researching, as soon as you have, so the first part is you propose what you want to research, what you want to try, what you want to look at. And once you've been proposed, you're good to go and find materials. And you could probably start before you're proposed. I mean, if you bring to me like, I want to propose this, and I found these 2 materials that are cool. Okay, cool. I'll probably be more inclined to. So if you got materials do we propose a material? You can start proposing them later today, Morgan. Next week is when I really want to like get you guys pinned down with your research topics. 2 weeks from now is the latest. Basically, 2 weeks from now is the latest that I want this to go for proposals. So I want to get you into those. Again, once you propose, you can get going on it. That's correct. What you're researching doesn't mean that's what you're going to make as a team. Now, there are scenarios where you propose something and then it becomes useful for the team project in some ways. That has happened several times. So do think that as you're building something, that you might be able to, hey, I've been working on this. You bring this to your team as something to use in the project, ultimately. I'll bring up, actually, I'm going to deviate just quickly. those who are looking for narrative games, there's something called Ink. Um, there we go. So Studio Inkle is a studio. They produce who make narrative games. We'll just bring them up just quickly. Inkle. So Highland and Song is one of their games. Labyrinth Forever, Overboard, Heaven's Vault, an IGF winner. And then they go Sorcery. 80 Days is another one, and Pendragon. Particularly 80 Days and Heaven's Vault. These are their big marquee games where they've won awards. They have built a narrative scripting language for games called Ink, which they use in those games. So if you are interested in doing a narrative game, and use Ink, come talk to me. Actually, one of the things that they have, there's an official guide. I have copies of the book. I have copies that you can borrow. So just going to point that out. All right, so I'm going to keep moving on. All right, so that's the research project. I'm going to stop recording right now. So this will be its own video.